Hey, good evening, everyone. I decided to do a surprise live to make up for when I was going to go live on Sunday. If you're watching, do me a favor and let me know that you can hear me okay. I've got a new setup, as you can see, a new mic and testing that out. Let me know that you can hear me and let me know where you're watching from in the comments. But this video tonight is all about, have you ever wanted to access an airport lounge, but you thought maybe you had to have a business class ticket or had to pay an expensive amount of money? Well, this video is for you. I'm going to tell you about the ways that you can access over 1,300 airport lounges around the world without having a business class ticket and without spending a lot of money. So let's go ahead and get into it. And if you're new here, my name is Kim and I'm the creator of WorkHardTravelWell.com. On this channel, I talk about travel tips for busy professionals to help you be able to travel more. So if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Drop me any comments and questions. I'll be sure to answer them, and share this video if you find it helpful. So let's get into ways that you can access airport lounges around the world. And I see Splendid Destinations Travelers checking in. Thanks for dropping in. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to share some information. And again, this is about airport lounges. Have you guys ever been to an airport lounge? If so, let me know. What's your favorite airport lounge? Drop it in the comments. And appreciate you, Mr. 81, for watching and tuning in. If you guys go ahead and also make sure that you subscribe to this channel and make sure you like this video while you're here. Okay, so let me share this information that I have for you. It's very important. Okay, so today we're going to talk about airport lounge access. So there are a few, going too fast, hold on. Okay. So there are a few ways that you can access airport lounges. You can access by paying a day pass through certain airlines. Like I've paid a day pass with Delta Sky Club. I see that some Splendid Destinations mention that they access the Delta Sky Club. You can access, whoa, hold on. Okay. So Splendid Destinations, we had some spam going on, but Splendid Destinations access the Delta Sky Club. You can access it through status or class. So that's if you buy like a business class ticket, or if you have like a certain status with an airline. You can access it through travel credit cards. Some travel credit cards have it where you can access it. You can access it by memberships through just a certain, basically, airport lounge. You can be a guest of someone and access it that way. I know when I went to the Delta Sky Club, I actually was able to bring in a guest for like $29 at the time. The price has changed. But you can also access independent airport lounges. And this came in handy. I recently made a trip down to the Bahamas and flew out of the Atlanta airport. And I was sitting there thinking, it's been a while since I traveled internationally. I'm like, wait a minute, I have access to an airport lounge. And I was thinking about what was I going to do for lunch, because the flight, I had to be at the airport around noon. So thinking about what I wanted to do for lunch. And by the time I, pay for certain things at the airport, it just made sense to use my access to an airport lounge. And especially right now, when we're still trying to socially distance ourselves or physically distance ourselves from people, having access to an airport lounge is really great so that you don't have to be like on top of each other at the gate. So those are the ways that you can access airport lounges. Let's see. And And today I'm going to talk about Priority Pass. Let me know if you heard about Priority Pass. Drop it in the comments. But basically, Priority Pass is a network of independent lounges where members can access different airport lounges around the world, regardless of ticket class. So I was flying on Delta, and I could have gone to Delta Sky Club, but I chose to go to a Priority Pass lounge in Atlanta. And you can pay through having a membership with Priority Pass, and it's basically an annual fee, but when you break it down per visit, works out to roughly $25, $26 per visit. And that can really kind of work itself out if you factor in you get unlimited drinks, alcoholic beverages, you get food and things like that. So that's why I really think the Priority Pass is really beneficial, so you don't have to worry about which airline you're on, or if you have a certain status. I flew actually on economy on Delta, so I was able to still have the perks of checking into an airport lounge and then saving some money on my economy ticket. Okay, so there's other ways that you can access it, and that's through travel credit cards. And this is a really key thing, because if you're going to do a travel credit card and you get access to the airport lounge, it really works itself out. I actually have access to Priority Pass through the Hilton Honors American Express Surpass card. And at the time I signed up for the card, I got 150,000 points, plus the access to Priority Pass airport lounges. So that's just an added benefit. I get 10 visits per year, and it doesn't start in the calendar year. It starts basically when you have signed up for it. So I signed up for it in November of that year, and so my membership starts over each November. Then also you can access it with the Hilton Honors Amex business card. And then there's more expensive annual fee cards that you can sign up with, and that's through Marriott Bonvoy and the Brilliant Amex, and then the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So you kind of have to weigh it out. If you are someone that's big on Hilton and you're looking to get a Hilton travel credit card, it makes sense to look at these options. It's only a $95 annual fee, and it pays for itself when you look at how many nights you can get with 100 to 125,000, 150,000, plus this plus the Priority Pass access. So it works itself out, and I'll show you. Let me show you actually. Here's the Atlanta lounge, and I touched on this a little bit on my video where I talked about what it was like to travel internationally through Atlanta Airport. So as you can see right now, it's a little different. Usually there's a buffet, but because of COVID, we had to give our order to the attendant, and she brought it. But you can see it's very spaced out, full bar, showers, and everything like that. So this was a good experience during COVID. Pre-COVID, I went to the Priority Pass Lounge in South Africa. There's actually quite a few. This one was a little more space and things like that. You can basically help yourself to these drinks, and also a very nice spread of food. And this is in the Johannnesburg airport. So I really liked it because I was able to, when I went to South Africa, I actually took well over 5 different airplane rides and was in the airport several times. And each time, instead of passing time at the gate, and instead of having to pay for food, I arrived in Johannesburg from Atlanta. I left Friday evening. I didn't arrive. It was a 16-hour flight. So it made sense. I was actually connecting through Johannesburg to Durban, and I was able to get a meal and everything. It was 1 o'clock in South Africa. I left Friday night. So I really like this. Let me know you guys think this would be beneficial or helpful, to be able to have access to airport lounges, and regardless of which airline you're flying on. Let me know in the comments. While you're here, be sure to like this video and share it with those that you find helpful. And if you would love to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/KimH, or you can send a super chat if you're watching on YouTube, or you can send a star if you're watching on Facebook. So those are the ways to support the channel. I really appreciate it. The money for support goes into building the channel and continue to bring helpful videos. And while you're here, check out some of the other videos I have to help you be able to travel more and also find good travel deals. So check those videos out. So that is kind of what I wanted to talk to you about with the Priority Pass. And then there's some things to know about Priority Pass. Let me go to the next slide. So some things to consider when you're looking at any like airport lounge membership, or especially with Priority Pass, is you should compare buying a membership directly from Priority Pass versus the $95 annual fee that you would have on a travel credit card. In the previous screen, it showed like $269 for, and that's with a discount through using the link that's in the description of this video. $269 for the year, and you get 10 visits, versus if you are already in the market for a travel credit card, you could do, a $95 annual fee. So you have to compare that, what you're in the market for. I will say it's good to download the Priority Pass app. So if you're someone that already has it and doesn't really know how to maximize your Priority Pass membership, be sure to download the app and look at, let me exit out of here, and look at the details of the lounge. So here is like let me zoom in here so you can see it. Here are the details of, you can go to the website, or you can actually look at the app. And one thing I want to check is looking at the hours, where it's located, and like any terms and conditions. So this airport lounge, this is in Atlanta, you are able to access it 3 hours prior to your scheduled flight. Children 2 and under are admitted free. And of course, here's stuff about the alcoholic drinks. And then this lounge actually has a computer workstation, and I actually used this lounge when I was flying out to South Africa, and I like to print a lot of my like tour confirmations and things like that. And I was able to do that here in the airport lounge so I could get everything ready for my trip. So this is very helpful. And also in the app, you can use your digital card membership. They're really helpful on Twitter and social media platforms. I actually did not have my digital card before my flight this month to the Bahamas, and Twitter tweeted them, and they actually called me I told them I was leaving at a certain time, and they actually called me from somewhere in the UK and before my flight and walked me through it. So they're very good with customer service. Some other things to consider is read reviews of airport lounges. And this is like invaluable even if you're not using Priority Pass. You can look at reviews of Delta Sky Club, all of these different lounges, and LoungeBuddy, and it's free. So let me know, have you guys ever used LoungeBuddy? Have you heard of it? And this is LoungeBuddy, and it's a website you can go to. And this is the Atlanta Club, ATL Atlanta, and it talks about same thing, but here's what I love about this is the reviews, because no one wants to pay, even if you're paying for a day pass, even if you're like using one of your 10 visits that you get per year or whatever, you don't want to pay and it not be worth it. I actually went to the Bahamas lounge, and it was not worth it at all. They were actually about to close, but we just wanted somewhere to sit. The kitchen was closed. There was actually like I think you only got like $20 towards drinks. So that's literally, after taxes and everything, that's one drink per person, maybe one and a half. But basically, I love these reviews. And another thing about Priority Pass is there's a Facebook group. So in the Facebook group, you can go and see what people are saying. People are posting real-time pictures, and like I said, I have a video. I just showed you the video. This is literally from this month when I accessed the Atlanta one, and I have some other footage as well that you can see. But I love being able to see the reviews and also the videos because you just don't want to waste your money. But I really like being able to hop in between airport lounges just because right now, like I said, you don't want to be like on top of everyone, and then you have some space at the gate, and then if you're already going to get food and stuff anyway at the airport, then you might as well, check out one of these airport lounges depending on how much you're going to spend. So I talked about the Facebook group, and all lounges are not created the same. I just told you about the lounge I went to in the Bahamas, and some of them can be restaurant credit options, and that's the next item that I have as far as additional tips to look out for is make sure you pay attention to if it's a restaurant credit option versus a lounge, because some of these lounges will basically be access to a restaurant. You get like $25 per person at a restaurant, and oftentimes those are going to be crowded, and it might not be a restaurant of your choice. So look at those things before you actually take the time to go to that airport lounge. It would suck to maneuver around the airport and then you get there and it's like, oh, XYZ happened. So that's pretty much what I have to say about things to consider when you're looking at airport lounges. But like I said, there are a few ways that you can access airport lounges, and this is just one of the ways that you can access it without having to have a first class ticket, without having to basically be on a certain airline. This is, not related to any airlines, and this is a good way for you to be able to access airport lounges. So while I'm here, let me know if you guys have any questions. I see Miss Poulard is checking in. Good evening, first time catching a live. I appreciate you for checking in. I know I recognize the name from Points Blank Travel, so I appreciate it. Appreciate the love from Points Blank Travel all the time. So thank you for checking in. Let's see. And let me know if you guys have any more questions. I'm going to close down the live soon. I wanted to basically get this information out to you. The links are in the description of this video about Priority Pass, but not just about Priority Pass. I give you a list of all of the travel discounts and trip planning tools that I use. So you want to check those out. It's free. It's all of the tips, all of the things that I use. So a lot of people ask me like, how do you get cheap flights? How do you find these deals? I literally have a free guide in the description of this video for you to download so you can check it out. And if there aren't any more questions, I think I'm going to go ahead and close it out. I really appreciate you guys for just joining. It was a surprise live. I had some issues on Sunday with my tech, my camera. I think it was still on vacay mode from the Bahamas. While you're here, make sure you turn on the bell for notifications, because I mentioned that I went to the Bahamas. I'm going to be dropping like tons of videos on the visa that I had to apply for. Yes, I had to apply for a visa to get into the Bahamas. You normally don't, but because of COVID, the testing requirements I had to do, what is the Bahamas like during this time, and then I stayed at the Atlantis, which is a popular resort in Nassau. So you don't want to miss it. Be sure to turn on the notifications so you don't miss anything about the Bahamas. And I also have more upcoming videos as well after that. So thank you for checking me out this evening, and you guys have a great rest of your night, and I will catch you guys next time.